Amali and the men descended the staircase. A single lantern lit an endless stairway into darkness. Only the immediate 3 steps could be seen.
Would you hurry up at the front? The chill is catching up to me.
It's the chill, is it?
Oh, come off it.
Not gonna wet your pants, are you?
What is it? Scared of the dark?
Keep your voices down. We may not be alone.
Amali lifted her lantern up to the wall, and it revealed ancient markings of a hideous creature swallowing stickmen whole. The men, now having caught up to Amali, marvelled at the demonic etchings. Juvie gulped weakly, but he was no longer the only one fretting.
Come on, let's just keep moving. How much further is it?
Let us slow our haste. Look ahead. There's no sign of life down there.
No, we must carry on. There's no time to waste.
We'll try again tomorrow.
Tomorrow, it will be too late. This is a timer. When it strikes, my parents, Zakai, and whoever else the Reapers have down there will be dead. And maybe us too. But we still have time, look!
So what would you suggest? Plough on for another half hour? An hour? A day?
Whatever it takes.
They took our father. It's about time we got some revenge.
Oh, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about, Juvie.
You better count me out.
Well, let's not jump to any...
What? But you said you'd help me. You said.
I don't take any old orders off some girl, and not the likes of you neither. I'm sorry about your family, but I ain't getting my hand dirty for nobody but myself and you, Gov.
How very charming of you. Fine. Whatever. I'll go by myself then, shall I?
You won't be able to do this yourself, you know.
At least I'll have known that I tried.
She's not wrong.
Zakai would have done it for us.
Our father wouldn't have shied away from this.
You're right. He would have sacrificed himself for any of us. Both of them would have, and yet, here we are, ready to run at the first hurdle.
So we carry on?
You know, once you commit to something, there will be no going back.
I understand.
Then we carry on, whatever it takes.
Finally, they reached an opening. The pathway was illuminated by fire brackets. Overgrown vegetation and cobwebs dangled from the ceilings and occasionally dropped lower as if to sweep their next victims. The men took out their swords and sliced up the vegetation, slowly entering the deadly dungeon. It was like a temple. The temple was silent and empty, yet something seemed to be watching Amali's every move.
The Fallen Temple.
You can read that?
Can't you?
No, it's written in an ancient language. I don't believe it exists anymore.
Then how can I...
I'm trying to figure that out myself.
Hey, through here!
As if once again in a dream, the room became dark and sinister. The torches were dead. Amali glanced around, and this time she was with the others, but they seemed not to notice her. Their eyes were vacant and dreamy. Amali waved her hand over their faces.
Flynn! Magnus!
Her voice echoed through the empty room, but nobody replied. She wandered the room absent-mindedly. A horrible rattling, slithering sound rushed behind her and slowly wrapped its way around the room. The whispers appeared to belong to 3 women's voices.
Which half-blood dare lay foot upon my temple?
Oh, but to do so would be so unwise.
I sense fear. She feels alone, weak. I like the taste of vulnerability. I found her.
Yes, me first.
No, me!
Amali ran through an archway and into a dripping room. The room felt heavy with filth, so much so that Amali's eyes started to water. She coughed uncontrollably to the stench of the room. It was a smell of death. She stumbled backwards and her lantern flickered forebodingly. The rattling and the women's voices became closer and closer. The whispering worked as one.
Where is it now? You lost her!
Patience, sister. She can't hide forever.
Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit.
I smell her scent. She went this way.
Girls, where are your manners?
Manners?
You need not fight over a wretched half-breed. Look at her. She is easy pickings. We could have her any time. There's something else.
Yes?
Someone far more sinister.
Oh, I can taste the sickly sin of his blood already.
I smell him too now. You're tasty evil.
Girls, lest you forget, we have some business to attend to.
But she is merely a half-breed, no?
Perhaps, but she knows too much already.
But how is that possible?
Wake up, girls. She's penetrated into our conscious.
But how? Only the Oracle can source such magic.
Through a crevice in the wall, Amali noticed one of the men pocketing something from the ancient tomb to the side of her. The hand was scratched up, and on his hand he wore a silvery crested ring.
How can this be?
A child, the miracle of all life. An oracle to tell the destinies of time.
She knows it all, as if reading a diary full of our secrets.
What must we do?
We kill her.
Ah, yes.
Save her till last. Let her friends suffer their fates before her. Maybe she'll be wiser for it. Amali was trapped with no way out. When she looked into the orb before her, she decided to smash her hand onto it, and as she did so, sparks of white light cascaded around her. The world shifted around her once more, and she caught a glimpse of the same masked figure. This time, his hand touched the orb, and she was blinded by the reflection of a ring on his finger. Amali snapped back to her senses, panting uncontrollably. She had unconsciously walked into a new room. It appeared to be much like the one in her vision. Flynn stood behind her cautiously.
Are you okay? What happened to you?
To me? What happened to you? I was calling you and... Juvie, where'd you get that?
Get what? Oh, you're not gonna make me put it back, are you?
I think that would be wise. We don't know who that stuff belongs to.
Look at this place. It's falling apart, no one lives here. To leave all this treasure to rot away would be such a waste. Right, brother?
Yeah, whatever. Just keep out of trouble.
Amali's lantern spreads far and wide and finally falls upon an assortment of statues, 3 serpentine women. The statues are stationary and posed. Amali pushes towards them, the light of the lanterns now casting evil shadows over their faces. Somehow, from the moment before, their faces seem different, as if contorted into a sinister grin. Eyes now open, faces tilted down upon Amali.
Ah! Have you seen the...
He trailed off as Amali rushed in closer. The light cut an angelic beam around him. Suddenly, an ancient tomb revealed itself under the light. Cobwebs displayed the slight offset tomb's lid. Skulls and human remains lay scattered onto the floor around it, and an unearthly groaning, rattling sound began behind her. She gasped. She couldn't help containing the fear that was now consuming her. Swinging around once more, she laid her torch upon the statues she saw earlier. She gasped yet again, unable to control it. Fear seeped out from her. It filled up the room until it's tense and stuffy. She clasped her hands around her mouth.
They weren't like that a moment ago. How could the statues move?
Flynn and Amali shuddered at the thought of this. The light from Amali's lantern now flickered ominously upon their wicked faces. The 2 of them stumbled backwards.
Let's get out of here. Run! Quickly! Amali! Everybody, run!
Which way?
Anyway!
Magnus, Noddy, Banny and Juvie escaped through a door and without another glance behind them pelted towards the exit. The three statues awakened, stirring in their place. Amali dropped the lantern and both of them rushed towards the same exit as the other men.
Oh my! What's that I see? 2 innocent lambs brought to their slaughter, is it?
The room shook and rocks fell from the ceiling. The lantern flickered off. Amali and Flynn jumped to a halt, frozen in their path. Slowly they twisted around. The fear of their helplessness spread deeper within their veins with every second that rushed by.
Oh, brave. Very brave indeed. Or perhaps foolish. Yes, foolish they must be.
We didn't mean to disturb.
No point in trying to hide. Didn't you know snakes can see in the dark?
What brings you here? Curious I am of your intentions. To wake 3 sleeping serpentine, you must know not of the consequences. Or perhaps you really are as reckless as you appear.
Speak up, girl.
Where's my brother? Where are my parents?
Aha! We have been expecting you. Your family, they're alive. For now.
Show me where they are.
Brave or foolish, I'm yet to decide. Regardless, I shall show you to them. On one condition.
Yes, that's right. You may be heroic, but are you sharp?
Or cunning? Or in good fortune?
Ladies, all your questions will be answered shortly, should they complete the riddle which awaits them.
Answer correctly. You and your ill-fated accomplice shall go forth unscathed. Answer incorrectly, and you'll find yourself alike to one of our earlier victims.
We understand.
Very well. Us 3 sisters are so alike. Decipher between us and we'll bid you your life.
For you will be granted 3 questions, but no more, to which we must answer either yes or no.
Questions which will soon uncover who is I, Hydra, Viper, or Lamia, you shall discover.
Many unfortunates have failed in the past, so choose your questions carefully and think you must fast.
Hydra tells only the truth, Viper always lies. Lamia does both alternatively, but which is which, you must decide.
Be warned, for I or nay will be coded in the language of our mother tongue. Naish and Okshi will replace them, for once your questions have begun.
Plenty lies in chance, even more so in practice, but picking between them meticulously sends our victims into madness.
Now to you we must go. Think prudently with what you already know.
Upon the third and final answer, we will ask for our names. Answer us correctly, and you will exit the game.
We've made it this far, Flynn. You heard what Madness said. There's no going back now. We are leaving here, together, alive. We have 3 questions. Hydra tells the truth. Viper always lies. And Lamia does both alternatively. Which is which, you must decide.
Come on, Namali. While they're not looking, let's just get out of here. We'll find another way to save him. The others are probably working their magic now.
No, look around, Flynn. There is no way out. The best hope we've got is to uncover the riddle. It's our only escape, not just for you and I, but for Zakai and my parents too. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
Well?
I don't know.
If only we could ask them the meaning of each word.
Flynn, you've got it.
Huh?
If only we could ask them the meaning of each word.
Oh, yeah, good idea. Although, I think you forgot the part where we don't speak their language.
We don't need to.
How? We won't understand the answer.
If we ask them a hypothetical question, we can begin to figure out what their words mean. The hypothetical part of the question will counter any lie they mimic.
I still don't understand. How is that possible?
Try and keep up, Flynn. If we, for now, say nays means yes, then Hydra would have to answer truthfully, to which she'd answer nays.
But Viper lies.
If I ask Viper. However, she'd answer Oshi, meaning no, because she lies. But what do two negatives equate to?
Two negatives equate to a positive. You're speaking sense for once.
The sandpipe, it must be leaking.
But wait, what if nays means no?
Same rules apply.
So nays will always be the affirmative?
Yes, and Oshi will always be negative or false.
Have you seen this?
What is it?
Appears to be sand. Doesn't have anything to do with you now, does it?
No.
Speak the truth, son.
Yeah. With all those ornaments, maybe you knocked something. Took something you shouldn't have.
I put them all back.
Idiot!
Now, let's not go pointing fingers. If he says he didn't do it, then he didn't do it.
Thank you.
You have too much faith in my little brother. He's trouble of all sorts. Oh, come on, help me get this door.
The men struggled, attempting to break down the door they escaped from. Inside the temple, the sand had now risen so high it was at hip level. It was rising quicker and quicker by every second.
What if the one asking is Lamia?
Then the question is wasted on her. But we don't have any time to deliberate this any further, Flynn.
Go on, take your chances.
We are ready to begin our questions now. If I asked you if Lamia is the Gorgon on your left, would you answer nays?
Oh, she.
So that must mean that she cannot be Lamia. If I asked you if you are Hydra, would you answer nays?
Nays.
She must be telling the truth. Hydra always tells the truth.
Blimey, we might actually solve this one. One more to go. What about her?
She must be Lamia.
You sure?
There's only one way to find out, I suppose. If I were to ask you whether the Gorgon in the middle is Lamia, would you answer nays?
Or she? Well, what will your answer be?
You are Hydra. Viper is the one in the middle and Lamia on the right.
Congratulations. You have earned your freedom and right to escape.
And my family, you said you'd tell me where they're being held.
On the other side of the temple awaits your answer. But be warned, for there's a snake in the grass.
But you said you'd tell me.
I've told you enough. But I suppose I've told you everything you already know.
You've told me nothing.
Marley, let's go.
Take your freedom. Go.
And never come back.
The floor rose up and sand fell over its edges. Amali lifted up her lantern and ran towards a door behind the women. Flynn followed her lead as they ran out of the abandoned temple. They entered into a corridor through a dimly lit passage. Amali and Flynn wandered through the hollow vessel. The tunnel echoed every footstep they took.
That sand.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Juvie. I saw him take something from the tomb.
You did?
You saw how much he was carrying. Must have been something he took.
I don't know. Feel like he would have made a racket about it.
Not if he was guilty.
The dungeon was dark and dreary, and Mrs. Little wandered the cells, taunting the inmates, who were Amali's parents, Zakai, and a few other beaten faces.
What do you think will be her last words? Will she cry? No, she's not much of a crier. But I suppose she's never watched her family burn to death before her either. Or will she beg for mercy? Beg and beg before I silence her. For good.
I can't hear them anymore. You'll go and fetch them, Juvie, seeing as this is your fault.
What if those women?
Don't tell me you're afraid of some girls now.
Dare I say it, but my little brother is as weak as a baby kitten.
I'm not afraid. But Magnus, you don't think it's a good idea to head on those Gorgons alone, do you?
Stop wetting your pants, Juvie. Who's there?
Banny? Banny, is that you?
Flynn?
It's me. Open the door.
You're alive!
How did you do it? How did you escape?
You're asking the wrong person.
No, it wasn't us. Banny was you. Ow!
Oh, well, who was it then?
Come on, boys. It's not that hard, is it?
I don't believe what I'm hearing.
Who? Who was it? The Oracle? Was it the Oracle? What were they like? Are you with them now?
You'll meet them if we haven't knocked this blooming door down.
I can't believe my luck. The Oracle, Banny. We're meeting the Oracle.
For heaven's sake, Juvie! He means the girl! She cracked the riddle!
But she can't be the Oracle. She's a girl!
You knew about that and still you decided to leave us.
Every bleeding sorcerer under the sun knows about that legend. The unsolvable riddle of the three serpentines.
Apart from nobody makes it out, nobody ever has.
Apart from you. But if you're not the Oracle, how did you solve it? How did you solve the riddle?
Oracle this, Oracle that. What is so great about this mystical creature that neither you nor I cannot do for ourselves?
Oh dear, oh dear. She just keeps getting better and better, doesn't she?
The Oracle, Amali. The name gives you a gist, does it not?
The Oracle is said to have such immense power that one snap of the fingers and poof, well, let's just say you and I would be no more.
The Oracle could kill us all.
If they wanted to. That's why the Reapers want her.
Her?
Her, him, it, whoever or whatever it is. Could even be a donkey for all we know.
Why do the purebloods want the Oracle?
Because as little as one drop could give them the power they need to sacrifice all the mixed bloods. Like you and your family.
One drop of what?
Blood, Amali. Oracle blood.
And the Oracle. If they're good, they must be in hiding. Maybe we can find them and...
If only it was that simple. Legend has it that he...
Or she.
Who is the Oracle does not reveal oneself until it is entirely necessary. I'm talking life or death.
Well then, we can be certain it's not you. You've played with death as if it were a sport.
Could be me.
No, it couldn't.
Could. And if I was the Oracle, I'd make sure you pay for it, you boss-eyed, buck-toothed goon.
I heard that. And no, it really is not you, Juvie.
Well, anyways, I didn't see the Oracle coming to save Flynn or I when we were solving that riddle, about to get mauled to death by those serpentines.
Maybe the Oracle knew you'd find a way out. Maybe you should...
We'll talk about this once we get out of here.
What do you need us to do?
Find a cord.
Come on, you heard him.
La la la. Boom boom boom. La la la.
What are they doing?
Are they singing?
God, they think we can sing our way out. Honestly, how thick can they get?
I only hear three voices. Sounds like Magnus is not much of a singer.
Magnus? Magnus, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Find us a cord and thread it through the door.
Okay, I'm on it.
Magnus fed them a cord, and on the other side of the door, Flynn threaded it up around the hinges and loosened it.
Now, you just need to hit the door down with some force. Find a branch or a heavy stone or stand back.
Quiet! Flynn, what was that?
A rock!
He said he needs a sock. Come on, quickly.
A sock? Whatever for? Ow! Stop hitting me!
I will when you stop running your mouth.
No, not a sock. A rock. We need something heavy.
What are you waiting for? Help me!
The men picked up some heavy stones and pelted them at the door. Finally, it crumbled before them. They ran out of the back end of the temple and entered a dark, enchanted forest. It was night by now.
What are you doing?
Setting up camp for the night?
But we can't. We have something else to be getting on with.
Like?
I don't know, saving my family from a massacre.
Fret not, Amali. All is well here.
But if we camp out, it will be too late.
Time works differently here. Nights move slower than the day. We have a few hours to regain our stamina.
You're in good hands.
Yes. We are good men, aren't we, boys?
Aye.
They set up camp for the night, and one by one they fell asleep. A scratched-up hand with a sinister-looking heirloom ring reached into Amali's pocket. It removed the map, and after that the clock, snapping its long hands off its face. A couple of hours later, a set of hooves rushing past the campsite wake Amali. The other men were already awake, and their voices could be heard outside of the camp. Their distorted silhouettes danced mysteriously on the tent's face. Amali wandered outside. It was still dark.
Oh, good. You're awake.
What time is it?
Why don't you check that nice clock of yours?
What's wrong?
The clock, it's broken.
Let me see. Oh dear. There's no going back from this.
The other men rose to their feet and peered down at the broken clock, the hands timidly flicking back and forth.
Oh, did you do this?
Oh, that's right. Blame me again. You know, I'm really getting sick of you all talking to me as if I'm some sort of dumb fool.
Well, did you?
No! Don't be ludicrous.
If the clock is broken, then we might already be too late, Amali.
Too late?
I'm sorry, Amali, but this is how it was meant to be. The universe has made its decision. We've missed our opportunity. Forgive me, my child. We shouldn't have set up camp. You were right.
What are you saying?
Your family...
Don't know that it's too late.
Yeah, I say we continue on ahead.
Of course you'd say that. Your chimney's all clogged up. You'd lead us straight down to our own bloodbath with your foolish brains.
Yeah, careful, brother. I'm starting to question your intentions.
Come to think of it, wasn't it you who suggested a Reaper could be among us?
Not a Reaper, look at the kid.
I don't know anymore. He's done a few questionable things the time I've known him.
If you want to say something, say it.
Want me to spell it out too, do you?
Show some sensitivity to the poor girl. It's her family we're talking of. Imagine if it was your father, Banny, or yours, Sully. And what about your daughter, Noddy? Would you have been so against the idea then? Didn't think so. Why don't we ask Amali what she wishes to do, eh?
We carry on. No going back, remember?
And kill us all whilst you're at it. I'm sorry, but I don't fancy burning at the stake anytime soon.
Nobody's burning at the stake.
We'll go. If you can justify it, we'll go. And if we die, so be it. We will die heroes. Died fighting for what we believe in.
It's already too late. What more is there to try?
When was the last time you questioned me?
Never.
You trust my intents?
Yes. Yeah, of course I do.
Well then, pack up everything you need and prepare for battle. Got everything?
I can't find the map.
You're telling me you've lost that too. However will we find our way there now? Luckily, my time fighting taught me a thing or two about navigation. I believe I know the way. Just follow my lead.
He placed his hand upon Amali's shoulder reassuringly. On his finger, his crested ring shone in the moonlight. Amali noticed it as the same one as in her vision.
Magnus, where did you get that ring?
It's an heirloom. My father, he's had it in his family for centuries. Goes back near enough to the first pure blood.
You mean the king? The same one as in that story Banny told us?
I suppose so. You know, I don't believe in all that rubbish. The two nations.
I know. And would you believe all this time I've been talking to royalty?
Magnus chuckled. Now what remained of the bonfire and camp were merely flecks in the far distance of the woodlands.